welcome. In this video I'm going to be solving your zoom issues with AutoCAD. There are lots of different ways that you can have issues with zoom and they've all got different reasons behind them, but in this video I want to try and basically solve every problem that I can think of that's related to zooming. So if I don't solve your problem first, I'm probably going to solve it second or third, because there's three big ones, which are when it won't zoom at all, when it zooms when you don't want it to zoom, and then when it zooms but it's not quite the way you were expecting it to zoom. And I'm going to cover all of them today, so bear with me if I don't solve your problem first. And also, if I don't solve your problem at all, please leave me a comment and let me know what your issue was. I'll try and solve it in another video. So the first thing we're going to look at, the low-hanging fruit, is how to solve the issue of it not zooming the way you wanted it to zoom. So you're kind of stuck zooming, but you can't actually zoom out. You're kind of zooming in the wrong thing. Okay, so here you can see I'm in paper space, and I can zoom out using the mouse wheel and everything's fine. But if I double click inside the viewport and I zoom, if I use the mouse wheel, it zooms in and out like this. Now I can get out of that by double clicking over here, but let's say if I zoom in to have a really good look at this bit of staircase or whatever, this door nib, and I double click again, then if you look down here you can see that I'm in model space and I can zoom out and zoom in, but I can't see the edge of my paper. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just zooming in and out in the viewport. I'm not in model space and I can't see the edges of my paper space. So this is it's quite a common thing when you're a beginner. So the way to get out of this is you come down here and you click model and it will put you back into paper space, so then you can zoom out. Okay, so the next issue with zooming is the zooming when you don't want it to zoom issue, which is also very common, especially when you're a beginner. So to give you an example of it, it usually occurs when you go from paper space to model space. I've got this layout here. Let's pretend that I've got this to exactly the right scale that I want it to. It's not, it's just at a random scale. And I'm going to double click and I want to just change something. Maybe I want to move it over. So I double click there and it zooms out. So it zooms to the extent, it shows you everything in the drawing and you think, oh, that's annoying. I wanted this to be bang in the middle there, so a nice big, so it fills the paper space. That's what I wanted. I just want to move it over. I just want to tweak it a bit, and you double click and it zooms back out again. This is caused by a thing called UCS follow, and the way that you get out of it is this. So you double click on it into your viewport, and this also goes to model space as well, so that you can do the same thing there. So what you do is you go in, so you can see the outside is highlighted. You type in UCS follow, and then what you do is hit 0. So you'll find that if it is doing that, it'll have a 1 next to it. So you hit 0, and then you come out of your paper space, and let's say, and we go in now, and you can maneuver this where you want it to. Double click. Now if I double click again, it shouldn't go anywhere now. It shouldn't zoom out, and it doesn't. So we've solved that issue. And another thing you can do, just to kind of stop, another thing that's good practice and it stops you from kind of messing your viewports up once you've got them just right, is to come over here onto the left, onto the properties. If this isn't open, you can right click and hit properties, and you can actually lock your, let's say I want to put this at 0.02, which is 1 to 50, and then you can come over here to display locked and you can hit yes. So now what will happen is I can double click in that and I can change things. Let's say I could delete that if I wanted to, so I can change stuff, but I can't scroll out and I can't mess the scale up. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is a problem when you zoom out, or when you try to zoom extents, so that you zoom and see everything, and this can be done by either pressing Z space and then E, or the other way you can do it is actually by double clicking the middle mouse button. And if you see there, and it's just sort of everything's disappeared, you just can't see where anything is. So when this happens, what it's usually causing it is that you've got things drawn in model space very far apart. Sometimes this happens when you import things or when you explode blocks. There's lots of reasons it can happen. And what you'll find is, so over here, if I select things there, I've got my original drawing there, but if I middle mouse again, and what you see is there's a line here. So the way that you solve this issue is zoom out so that everything is, you can either do Z space E, which is zoom extent, so you can do Z space A, which is zoom all, or you can just double click the middle mouse button or the third mouse button on PC, and then what you can do is you can hit Control A, and that will select everything. And if you zoom out a bit more, what you'll see is that I've got a line down here, and then I've got everything else that I actually want over there. So then what you can do is you can hit Escape and just select the things that you don't need, and either delete them or move them closer. So now if I double click the middle mouse button, or I do Zoom Extents, it should take me back to where I was, and there you go. So like I said, zoom, just hit Control A to select all, and then just delete the things that you don't want or move them. The other side of the coin is where you can't zoom out, and this sometimes happens with new drawings where you come into model space and for some reason it just doesn't seem to want to zoom out. It just won't let you zoom out anywhere. And what you can do here, there's one little trick I found for solving this, is to draw a line but make it enormous. So I'm working in millimeters, so if I just see there, that's like 46 meters worth of line. So if I just make it like, I don't know, like 10 kilometers, so 10,000 and then another 1,000, and then hit space. Now if I do the double click thing, so that's an enormous line, it's absolutely ridiculous. And what you'll find is that should actually solve your issue of not being able to zoom out. If that doesn't work, what you could try is regenerating. So there's a thing, this actually solves a multitude of sins, but you can do regen and regen all, and regen all is obviously the better one, and it just makes AutoCAD kind of stop and redraw everything. I hope you found these tips useful. Please let me know if this didn't solve your problem. Leave me a comment, and I'll try and do another video on whatever it is that you're having trouble with. And if you want me to go deeper into any of these topics, chances are I'll be doing more videos on all of these soon, if I haven't done them already. But if you want a deep dive on something in particular, then please leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.